I am so going to accidentally get unalived for this one. But this weekend in Medellin, something happened that blew a massive hole in the common story that you hear about gentrification here. Airbnb prices and hotel prices didn't just go up, reservations were canceled, listings disappeared, and they came back at 4, 6, even 12 times the original price. All because Bad Bunny's in town this weekend. And what's interesting is who wasn't blamed this time. This wasn't framed as a gringo problem. This wasn't blamed on foreigners moving to Laureles or Poblado. This was mostly a Latino concert targeting a regional audience, and yet the same price gouging happened. Only louder, more aggressively, and more extreme, and also impossible to ignore. And that matters because that tells you something uncomfortable about who's really driving prices here in Medellin. So if you've lived here for any amount of time, you already know the pattern. A big event happens in the city, prices spike, demand spikes. That's normal. That happens in every part of the world. But what happened this weekend has crossed the line. The prices didn't just go higher. They saw existing reservations canceled, so hosts could relist at extreme prices, extreme rates. Look, that's not just market adjustment, that's opportunism. And that's been happening here for a long time. This time it just happened fast, at scale, and with zero shame. But here's a key point. This had nothing to do with foreigners moving here. Bad Bunny didn't bring in an influx of digital nomads. He brought regional tourism, Latino tourism, Colombia tourism, Latino America fans. Yet the price behavior was identical to what's usually being blamed on the gringos. And to a bigger extreme, I will argue. But that's the tell. Because gringos, we're not the cause, we're the cover. Let me explain that. So for years now, Medellin's had a higher rise in cost of living, and they've been able to blame it on a simple villain: foreigners, gringos, outsiders with money. It's a clean story, it's emotionally satisfying, and it's incredibly useful if you're rich and you want to avoid scrutiny altogether. Because when prices go up, somebody's making money. And the uncomfortable truth is that foreigners don't own the majority of short-term rentals in Medellin. There's a really good site that I use to research this. It's called the Latin Investor. I hope I said that right. A fantastic site if you want to talk about anything about finances in Latin America. It's a great site. Not a sponsor or anything, but I'm actually going to put them down in the description here because it's really good and they break it down really well. So the thing is gringos don't control the housing stock. They don't decide when prices spike during concerts or festivals. Local investors do, local owners do. And the thing is, the gringo narrative works because it redirects anger from the people that are actually benefiting. It turns a structural issue into a cultural one. And it keeps the conversation shallow, emotional, and misdirected. That feels really familiar. I think that maybe happens up north somewhere. I don't know. It's happening in the U.S. This is the U.S. playbook that the Colombians are running. Plain and simple. Sorry, I'm just going to say it. Look, we're not the drivers. We're the excuse. And it's the same for a lot of people in the U.S. too. It's not. Another call, another time. This is the thing, and the problem is the call is coming from inside the house. I'll say it again because that line really matters. I'm not softening it at all. I'm not backing down on it. This call is coming from inside the house. The gentrification problem is the call coming from inside the house. The problem is the same people that are screaming about gentrification are often being priced out of their own economic class in their own neighborhoods. Not by foreigners renting a one-bedroom apartment in Laureles or anything like that. This isn't about anything other than wealth concentration. It's about speculative ownership, and it's about a gold rush mentality that sees Medellin as an asset, not a city, not a community. There's a term in Spanish called fiebre de oro, which is gold fever, translated directly to gold fever. And that's what a lot of people have here. And this weekend's made this impossible to deny. Here's the thing, no gringo caused a hotel to cancel reservations and relisted at 10x the price. No foreigner forced hosts to exploit and demand price spikes. That behavior comes from ownership and power, not from immigration. And this is the thing. This is Feria de Flores on steroids. This always happens every year during Feria de Flores. And if you've lived here or you come here for any amount of time, you already know this happens. It's the constant thing. It's the same thing. It's the exact same playbook that they're running for Feria de Flores. Prices creep up, locals complain, tourists pay anyways, profits roll in. And everyone just pretends that's how things are. Because it is. That's just how things are. It's okay. Bad Bunny is simply Feria de Flores on steroids. Just Deca, trend, test, everything just jammed all into one. The difference here is its scale and visibility. So this happened quickly because if you tried to look for this 3 months ago, the prices were normal. They were a little elevated because of the concert, but not crazy elevated. And when you look now, or you look, the prices that are being charged for, asked for, from Airbnbs is outstanding. A bedroom in a place is $300 a night. That, just for context, that's about half of the yearly salary for a Colombian for one night in a room in somebody's house. That's insane, insanity. But again, when the prices jump up that aggressively, that quickly, it exposes their intent. And it's not plausible anymore to say this is gradual gentrification caused by foreigners moving in over time. This one is a coordinated, event-driven extraction of funds, plain and simple. This is the first, and I will tell you, this is going to keep happening again and again and again. It's going to happen. The fact is that yes, gringos have some culpability, but not in the way that you're being told. And let's be honest about it, because honesty matters in this. It's a real thing. Foreigners do play a role. Higher income individuals increase demand, and short-term rentals change neighborhoods. It's very easy to see that. If you want to see this, go to Provenza and look at it now versus what it was pre-pandemic. It was always what it is. It just made that curve happen that much faster. This is the thing. Culpability is not the same as control. We don't control this. We are just as much victims of this as Colombians are. Not to the same extent, because at the end of the day, we have a choice to go wherever. A lot of Colombians do not. And people are getting run out of their city for something that they have nothing to do with. But here's the thing, is that gringos didn't design the system, didn't write the rules, didn't create the conditions that have allowed this extreme price gouging during events. I mean, we are participants in a system that was already pointed in that direction anyways. The thing is blaming foreigners exclusively allows the rich people, the people that actually have leverage, to keep running the same play over and over and over, year after year. And they're making the rest of us fight for scraps. This is the same playbook that they're running in the United States currently. This is the system that many gringos are trying to avoid, and it's coming here. It's here already. It's not coming here, it's here already. Listen, this matters for both locals and expats alike. If you're Colombian, this matters to you because this misdirection hits you first and hardest. It delays real solutions from coming in. It delays real change from happening. And it protects the people that are extracting the most money, plain and simple. It turns legitimate frustration into a cultural resentment. It makes it impossible for any kind of economic reform to happen. If you're talking about, I'm the problem because I came here, or not me personally, but whoever, if gringos in general, if you're a foreigner, finishing that thought, if you're blaming me or blaming us, you can't look at the real problem. You can't look at the real solution. You can't look at anything past that, unfortunately. This is a nuanced thing, but the media and the social media spin has made this to a very 1-0 black and white issue, and it's not even close to that. Now, if you're a foreigner, it matters because you're being used. You're a convenient villain. You're the Disney villain that's leading bad actors and letting them hide in plain sight. And every time you accept that role, the cycle continues. And just being completely straight with you, the cost of living in Medellin has risen faster than anybody would have expected. Anybody. That's real, but the reasons are so much more complex than the traditional media and social media allow you to get here. This is the thing. I actually respect what the mayor has done here. I was harsh on him at first. I'll own that. I'll wear that L. But Fico Gutierrez has really stepped up, and he's the only one that I've heard calling out any kind of price gouging this weekend. Everybody's seeing it, but he's calling it out. And that's a start. But accountability has to go deeper than just one concert weekend. Because if Bad Bunny has taught us anything, if the Bad Bunny concert has taught us anything, it's this. When the mask slips, you can see who's actually pulling the strings, and it's not the gringos, sorry to say. Again, I'll say it again, the call is coming from inside the house. So I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear, let's talk about it in the comments. Again, let's be respectful about it because this is a super emotional topic. And it's difficult. It's one of those things that's hard to talk about. So talk about it with some reverence. I've tried to do that here. I've tried to be respectful of all sides on this one because it is tough. It's a hard conversation to have. But I think that we all have to have it because if we're going to continue to live here and live in harmony, and try to anyways, this has to be addressed. This has to be something that is talked about. So let's talk about this. Let's get active and let's come up with some solutions. Put it down in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say, though. Also, like the video, please. Share, subscribe, all that stuff, all those YouTube things. Until next time, I was going to do the So I Married a Webcam Model video. I even had a cool, like, So I Married an Axe Murderer video thumbnail planned out, but I had to do this one because this just took front and center. So I'll do that one, record it later tonight. You can hear my incredible voice because I'm still fighting sickness. By the way, if you have kids, they are little petri dishes, so enjoy. All right, until next time, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate every one of you for watching. If you've made it this far, you are a real one. See you guys later.